Hello, welcome to the Fab Flashy Show, where elegance meets empowerment. I'm your host, Bree Wilson, and if you're a woman who's 35 plus, this is your show, because we will discuss so much that you can relate to. And be sure to come back soon, because each week we drop a brand new episode. Joining us today is Joy. Joy is a wife, a mom, a professional bodybuilder, and Joy is a breast cancer survivor, and she is thriving with lupus. She's going to be speaking with us today about her journey. Joy, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Bree. Happy to be here.
Great. Now, going back to your breast cancer diagnosis, when you were first diagnosed with breast cancer, what was that moment like for you?
So it's kind of funny, kind of not, but I look at it as funny because that's just my personality. So I went to the gym, avid gym goer, and I came home. It was time for me to get in the shower. Step into the shower, my boob was itching a little bit. And I just, as I'm washing, I went on and I scratched it. And that when I went to first stroke, I felt something hard. And I was like, that doesn't feel right. So I did it again. And I'm like, that's really hard. So I run outside to the bathroom to my husband. He's in the room laying watching TV. And I say, oh my God, I have cancer. And he's like, girl, stop playing. What are you talking about? I was like, no, honey, no. I said, all jokes aside, no. I said, feel this. I said, something's different and something's wrong. I said, because it's really hard. So he felt it and he said, okay, you know what? Maybe you should go have that checked out, And probably like a week later, I went and had it checked out. And I went to, my PCP, and she said she felt it. She looked at it and everything. She said, I think you should go to the breast center. That was kind of scary when I heard that, and get a mammogram. At this point, I was 37 years old, I think I was, or 38. And this was September. And I went to the breast center on October 4th, and I was there with my husband. They did, the biopsy. I mean, they did not a biopsy. They did the ultrasound, all the different tests they had to run, to see what was going on. I came back. They wanted to do the biopsy. They did the biopsy. So I waited for the biopsy, and my biopsy results came October 16th, 10 days before my birthday, before my 39th birthday. That I had breast cancer. So in that moment for me, honestly, Bree, I wasn't scared. I was never scared, shall I say, per se. The only part of it being scary for me was knowing that I may not be here for my family. So that's the only scare I had. It was never a scare of, oh my God, I'm going to be sick. Oh my God. It was just like, okay, if I have it, let's go. Let's get it. What do I have to do? What's my next steps? I just want to go. So I just
ready.
I was ready. I mean, because knowing that I wanted to be here and for God to give me that, he meant for me to fight. So once she said that, exactly, when he said that, she said that to me that I was, yes, you have cancer. And then the other funny thing about it was I had a doctor who was very obnoxious and in your face, which didn't bother me. Everybody can't handle doctors like that. Yeah. But it didn't bother me because I have this joyful, personality, And she comes in and they send me over to the surgeon, because when they called me back before they gave me the diagnosis, they said, are you here by yourself? I kind of knew what was coming when they said that. And I said, oh, my husband's outside. And she said, well, grab your husband and we're going to walk to the room. So I kind of knew I was taking the Green Mile, walking to that room. You know what I mean? And they told me that, they was like, well, right across the street, there's, the hospital and there's a breast surgeon. We want you to go over there and have a consult with her. So this is the doctor I was telling you that was like kind of like in your face. And I go to her and she's feeling on. She goes, yep, that's cancer. You have it. What are we going to do?
She said it just like that.
That's what she said. That was how I found it the second time. She just felt it. She looked at the results and said, yep, that's cancer. What are we going to do? She said, you're young. It's aggressive. We just need to move. I said, well, if you say we need to move, I'm ready.
So you were 39 and now you're 50, right?
So I was 38.
38.
Right. I got diagnosed right before my birthday. My birthday is October 26th. So everything happened in October, which is why I claim October as Jocktober.
Right. And then now you're 50.
Now I'm 50.
Okay. So it's been about 12 years. Okay. So go ahead. So the lady was just curt. Yep, you got it.
Yep, you got it. Let's go. What you going to do? She said, she even laughed at me. She said, oh, you're going to lose all that beautiful hair. I mean, she just was like, just going in on me. You know what I mean? And I just was like, you know what? Well, if she's laughing about it and if I can laugh about it, then maybe that'll help me get through this. Yeah. And it really did. It honestly really did, And because it was aggressive, because I was young, they had to do like very, very aggressive chemo.
Treatments.
The treatments were like out of this world. Like, I mean, I made it through all 6. So what I ended up having was 6 rounds of chemo, 27 rounds of radiation. And then I was on what they call a chemo pill for 10 years called tamoxifen, which I just got off of that in February. Woo! I did my 10 years.
Wow.
I did all 6 rounds almost flawlessly. And then after the 6th round, it took me out, put me in the hospital for over a week and a half.
Really?
I thought I was a done deal then, but I still was holding on like, nope, this can't be. I'm going to make it, but I still was fighting in the hospital, still fighting, you know what I mean? But that's kind of like my story as far as like the diagnosis, how it went after, but during I always tell people my whole thing when I describe how it was, I went to hell and back, hell and back, definitely. People would never.
So it's just that last treatment that was just.
My body was done from the.
So throughout the whole process, you didn't have the vomiting?
Oh, I did.
You did? Okay.
I had all of that, but I got through it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So the first 5 took me out, of course. The first 5 took me out. I mean, you would not believe, Bree, I'm talking shriveled up version of yourself, bags under your eyes. You get extremely dark. I had the opposite effect, and most people think you lose weight with chemo. I gained, with the steroids. I was 160 pounds, the heaviest I've ever been in my life. It's still today. I've never been past like 130, 135. You know?
Yeah, you're a tiny thing.
So I was 160. So you can imagine, lost fingernails, lost toenails, lost hair everywhere. I lost feeling in my left armpit because, they tell you that you might possibly hit a nerve for the surgery when they take out your lymph nodes. So I had that. Then my story never ends. I ended up developing lymphedema in my left arm.
Really? Oh,
my arm was huge. Like my husband's a big guy, and I had to wear his shirt. I couldn't fit nothing. I could only wear his shirts around the house because my arm, it was like 2 times. It was huge. I could put 2 arms together now and show you the size of my arm. Wow. So I ended up getting lymphedema during the whole process of all of this. On top of that, the bone damage. I mean, not being able to walk. I fell many times, like going to the store. I ended up having to start doing that, as I call it, the old lady cart. Because I couldn't walk around the store. One time I fell in the store trying to get cereal for the kids.
Your weakness.
The weakness just took you down. I used to slide up and down the steps to get the kids off to school in the morning because, when you're a mom and that happens to you. So that's why I know how moms feel as survivors because they say, I don't want no help. I want to do this because I'm a mother. I'm supposed to do this. So I was just talking to my kids today and I said, my whole treatment, I might not have been 100, but I was at least 85. I went to every track and field, every soccer game. I had pictures with me hanging over the seat because I'm so sick. Nosebleeds in the stand, constipated, vomiting, but I was there.
You was
I
there
was
for
at
everything
until it took me down for that week and a half. Everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I mean, you came in swinging.
I did.
You were like, I'm going to fight this. I'm not going out without a fight.
Yep.
So like during this process, it's all setting in, you're like, yeah, let's do it. It's about the kids. Could you share some other moments where you felt your faith or just that inner strength carried you through? Because I'm sure you had, I can only imagine that you had days where it's just like, I'm fighting. The more I fight, the more something else comes
yes.
up.
Many times. So I'm not like a very religious person. Let me just say that. But, I grew up in the Baptist church. I love the Lord and, the spirit of the Lord, shall I say, because I'm a very spiritual person, which is different than religious. I try to explain it to my girlfriend sometimes. It's different for me. I'm a very spiritual
There's
person.
A difference.
Exactly. Thank you. I go by signs a lot. I'm weird like that. Like something is a reason for everything. I mean, I know it's cliche, but I say it all the time. And I followed that path that God gave me because it was a reason he gave me that. It was a reason I got this diagnosis. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I felt that through him and with my fight that I was going to get through. And then with the amazing love and support that I had. So we lived in Texas for 10 years, right? I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. We lived in Texas for 10 years. We moved back. I was diagnosed within a year when we moved back. So that's the first sign. I was diagnosed when I got back home. So my mom was around. I had family. That's the first sign. You see what I'm saying? So I had that support for the family. Now Texas, 24 hours away. I have friends down there because, I have built a friendship and
Have
family
built
down there.
connections. Yeah.
But God sent me back home for a reason. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? To be by my
Yes.
family, through my mom. She moved
Yes.
in with me to help
Oh,
me.
wow.
So it worked out. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's when you say faith, that was my faith that, drew me in. And I went to the gym. Like, I was an avid
Right.
workoutaholic.
Yeah.
And the gym, like I said, only been in this area when I moved back for about a year.
Mhm.
They love me, right? When
Yeah.
I got cancer or diagnosed, since when I was diagnosed with cancer, they threw this huge fundraiser for me. Like, these people don't know me really from Adam. It's only been like a year. I know them. I see them in my
Yeah.
classes. I see them outside of that. I didn't really know them. They
Wow.
raised like over $3,000 for me. Started
Wow.
food circles for me. Prayed for me.
Mhm.
So with faith, that just draws into my faith and their faith in me, which made me so optimistic about
Yeah. Your
getting through.
village. You found your village.
Yes. And it was so funny because my first, they had the fundraiser like right after, like a day or so right after my first chemo. So with chemo, you're okay. Probably the first 2 to 3 days to tell you do what you want to do the first 2 to 3 days, because once you get to that third day, you go down. I found that out real quick because that's how it happens. Yes.
Okay.
So every time I got my chemo, me and my husband would try to go eat somewhere, go out, do something for the first 2 days, and then next days I'm like,
take a break.
Exactly. But I tried to go to the fundraiser, and they were like, no, you can't come in here. Your immune system. It was just amazing. It was just amazing, and that right there showed me the love and support I had between the gym and then my neighborhood. They started a food circle.
Listen up. Are you embarrassed to show your feet in public? Do you wear water shoes to the pool or wear socks to bed? Do you bury your feet in the sand when you're at the beach? Do your feet look like this? Okay, calm down. We're going to talk about how to fix these fungal nails. Now, back in the day, I used to use products just like this, inferior products, and I found that I wasn't getting the results that I wanted. And when I say I used to use products like this, I too suffer with fungal nails, but not anymore. Brands like this, and all the other brands for that matter, do not penetrate the nails with the same efficacy. And that's why you must have Fix Your Fungal Nail. And here's why. Fungal nails are caused by onychomycosis. I bet you never knew it was called that, and I bet you really don't care. Because if you have thick, raggedy, smelly, discolored nails that are lifting up from the nail bed, who cares what the medical term is? You just simply want to get rid of those gross, disgusting, embarrassing toenails. This product is not going to make you go blind. You're not going to lose your hair. You're not going to gain weight. And you won't get ED. Trust me. I'm the queen of toes. Go to the website, fixyourfeetproducts.com. Check it out. Go to fixyourfeetproducts.com, and I'll see you soon.
Did she say fixyourfeetproducts.com? Go to fixyourfeetproducts.com. That's fixyourfeetproducts.com.
Bree, I'm telling you, the resources out there, ladies, the resources out there for survivors, use them. And I know as a mom, our ego is shot.
Yeah.
We feel like we can't do it.
I can do it all.
I can do it all. You know what I mean? And that's how we feel. So in the beginning, I was the same way. I didn't accept any help in the first one. By the third round, I'm like, okay, I need to start looking into these resources. So I got free house cleaning. You get free house cleaning. They have so many things out there for survivors. I tell them all the time, go to your breast center and ask for resources and use them. They have counseling for the kids, counseling for the husband, counseling for the caregivers. So much stuff, Bree. It's so much out there.
Yeah, those are things that you don't really think about.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so now I know you breast cancer, then you also have lupus. So now when did lupus enter the picture? Was it before, was it during, or was it after the cancer?
So lupus was before, when I was living in Texas. 2011.
Okay.
I was going to the hairdresser. She saw this little spot, this little area, and she said, "Oh, I don't remember seeing that there," And I'm like, "Oh my goodness, what is something wrong?" She was like, "No, let's just look at it next time." So I come back next time, it's a little bit bigger. So she's like, "Maybe you should go to the dermatologist and find out what's going on. Have him do the spot. Look at the spot." And I went to the dermatologist, and he did a biopsy, and the biopsy came back as lupus. Okay. So there's 4 types of lupus, and I have cutaneous lupus. And then in the cutaneous lupus is 3 under that. And I have what's called discoid lupus, which unfortunately is almost too common in women of color.
Oh, wow.
It is. It's very common in women of color. They're trying to figure out, they still don't know why, but for some reason it has become very common, in our race.
Maybe a genetic mutation or something.
I'm assuming, you know what I mean? Because what was crazy was immediately when they told me that, I thought about my uncle when I was a little kid. He always had this bald spot in his head. Never knew why he had this spot. You're young. You just looking at him like, why you had this bald spot? Well, okay, he just got a bald spot. You know what I mean? And I said, it has to be something genetic, because I'm certain that was lupus. So, I went to him and I asked him, and, kind of denied it, tried to, no, I didn't have, how it is, how, everything's taboo in our race. It could be,
Yeah.
And I didn't have no lupus. I'm like, I'm almost certain. And then a cousin, I remember when I was younger, beautiful, gorgeous hair. Then she lost all the top of her hair, smooth like a baby's bottom. Smooth. Just fell straight out. And I think that was it too. She never, said she had it either. But I'm almost 100% sure that's what it was, especially how mine, became.
Wow, that's interesting, because I knew that there were different types of lupus. So this discoid lupus. So if people are going around undiagnosed, can they just go around for years? Because I know some other lupus types are more aggressive, and
exactly.
So is this one just something that people just kind of dismiss as something else?
I think so. I think a lot of people, take it as alopecia, which of course that is the term you use once you get diagnosed with the lupus, because it in turns, discoid lupus attacks skin and hair. So that's what happens, and it can cause, some people can reverse their hair loss. Some people can't. I unfortunately wasn't able to reverse mine. I still do take minoxidil for to stop any other hair falling out. But, I do have my 2 little spots in my head that will never come back. And that's what I try to explain to people. I'm like, with lupus attacking my hair and skin, I have to protect myself every single day. So when I first was diagnosed in 2011, and this is going to be funny, when I was diagnosed in 2011 with lupus, he told me that I had to wear sunscreen every day for the rest of my life, because it attacks my skin, from head to toe. And I said, "Sir, I'm too cute to be wearing no sunscreen." Wait for it. He wanted me to wear long sleeves, Bree, in Texas, and long pants in these soccer games. I said, "Oh, sir, I don't know." I said, "I will do the face, and I will wear a hat and stuff." So I did all of that. Definitely for sure, the first 5 years, I always had my hat on, always wear my sunscreen. Now, sunscreen, the funny story about that is I still today, from 2011, wear it every day on my face. I'm not a good girl with putting it on my body like I used to, unless I'm at the beach or something or at a pool. But my face, every single day since 2011, I've never skipped. If I skipped, I'm running to find it.
So tell me this. So the alopecia, you're dealing with that. Did you deal with any skin changes with this type of lupus as well, or you just noticed the hair?
It only did it in my hair.
It only did it in my hair.
So I didn't get the strawberry on the face, or some people call it a cherry. Everybody call it something different. That's normally what people, put 2 and 2 together with lupus. They see the spot again, because I have another story. When I was little, my aunt had the strawberry. And when you're a little kid, you're wondering why she got this big pink circle on her face.
Yeah.
So it was so crazy when he said I had lupus. All of that ran in my mind, like, oh my goodness, my cousin. Oh my goodness, my uncle. Wait,
wow,
my aunt. She, and so I'm thinking about all these things, and I was really scared. I think that's why, and I know that's why I protected my face nonstop, because I was so afraid that I was going to get that strawberry. But luckily, it never came down to my face. It only does it in my hair. Every once in a while, I will get a flare up on my eyes. They don't know why. I went to the rheumatologist. They ran tests. They're not sure as to why I get a flare up on my eyes. And when I say flare up on my eyes, what happens is they get very puffy, very rashy, and just burn. They just burn. So I have to use Benadryl. I've been using the secret's that's been helping me lately is hydrocortisone. Actually
Okay.
soothes the rashes, it soothes the burning, you know what I mean? And it takes it away faster. It's viral, she told me. So you have to let it go. It's nothing. So I'm like at work with these rashy eyes. I'm trying not to look at people, and that's what I do every day, smiling people's faces.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, I promise you I don't have anything, you know. And it's hard when that happens, when I get those flare-ups, which started happening more often now, which scares me a little bit. But she still told me it's okay. She said maybe it's just something I changed, or you know, when I started changing supplements when I did my prep last year, because this year I got like 3 flare-ups, and normally I only get like 1 a year on my eyes.
Oh wow.
So like I had 3, and it's crazy, you know.
Listen up. Are you embarrassed to show your feet in public? Do you wear water shoes to the pool or wear socks to bed? Do you bury your feet in the sand when you're at the beach? Do your feet look like this? Okay, calm down. We're going to talk about how to fix these fungal nails. Now, back in the day, I used to use products just like this, inferior products, and I found that I wasn't getting the results that I wanted. And when I say I used to use products like this, I too suffer with fungal nails, but not anymore. Brands like this, and all the other brands for that matter, do not penetrate the nails with the same efficacy. And that's why you must have Fix Your Fungal Nail. And here's why. Fungal nails are caused by onychomycosis. I bet you never knew it was called that, and I bet you really don't care. Because if you have thick, raggedy, smelly, discolored nails that are lifting up from the nail bed, who cares what the medical term is? You just simply want to get rid of those gross, disgusting, embarrassing toenails. This product is not going to make you go blind. You're not going to lose your hair. You're not going to gain weight. And you won't get ED. Trust me. I'm the queen of toes. Go to the website, fixyourfeetproducts.com. Check it out. Go to fixyourfeetproducts.com, and I'll see you soon.
Did she say fixyourfeetproducts.com? Go to fixyourfeetproducts.com. That's fixyourfeetproducts.com.
So do you think there's any, because you mentioned the stigmas with, you know, our Black race and that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see that there's any misconceptions or anything with the lupus disease that you've noticed?
Off of my type or?
Off of it in general?
I think so, because everybody poo-poo it just as alopecia. They don't want, it's a spot in my head. I lost my hair, it's alopecia. Once everybody learned that word, everybody started using it. You know what I mean? Instead of just actually going to find out and dig deeper, maybe it is alopecia, but why? Mm-hmm. How come? Because yes, mine is alopecia now considered, but my first diagnosis was lupus, which in turn turns to to alopecia. So yes, I do see that there's a lot of misconceptions with that, because they automatically assume it's just hair loss and it's not coming back. But it can be reversed sometimes.
And like you were saying that there's different types of lupus. There's also different types of alopecia. And I shared with you that
that's right.
I'm dealing with that myself.
Right.
And for a while, for a few years, I was misdiagnosed. Everyone told me to go to you need to go to a Black dermatologist. So I went to a Black dermatologist, and she diagnosed me with alopecia, but she did not diagnose me with the right alopecia. Okay. She assumed that I had traction alopecia, because at the time I had long sister locks. Like I had been rocking sister locks for years. I had them back in 2008.
Wow.
Nobody was rocking them then.
Right. Before.
Especially here, because I'm from Florida. Okay. And so like my hair was so thick, I was able to do an updo, and I was able to hide it for quite some time. And then, you know, I was just taking, you know, she was having me do the topical minoxidil. And then I quit doing that because it started running in my face. And then I talked with you. I went back to my dermatologist because I finally got diagnosed. So the Black dermatologist, she didn't give me the right diagnosis. Okay. So I went to actually a VA hospital.
Wow.
There was an intern,
Mm-hmm.
a quite young 20-something male intern
The
who
new ones.
diagnosed me with the right type of alopecia.
Yes.
And it's called, the abbreviation is CCCA. It's
Hmm.
centrifugal alopecia. And
Okay.
it primarily impacts black American women between the
Mm-hmm.
ages of 35 and 55. That's when you're going to get your diagnosis. And
Right.
mine started happening around the age of 39. But
Mm-hmm.
like I said, it started off as a little one, and then went to a
Yep.
trichologist for your hair. I went
Yes.
to all these
You
different
did
specialists
yeah.
do hair oil. Oh, you don't need to do
Uh,
this style. And it just kept getting worse and worse. And then I went to
mhm.
the black dermatologist, and she would always just think, just eventually you're gonna have to cut your hair off. So cut my hair. And
Right.
then I started getting more thinning. So it's to the point I can't wear my hair out. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just, I until recently, a couple years ago, I met a lady. I didn't realize that there was more than one type of lupus.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
crazy how many, and then it's the sub lupus. You know what I mean? Under that, like how mine is, it's cutaneous, and then under that is discoid. And it's 3 under cutaneous because it's systemic, the one that's aggressive, and it's like
Aggressive
it
ones.
really attacks their immune system. They get sick
Right.
so bad, and get the shakes and cold, and so I don't have all of that. Thank you, God. So I'll take what I have. You know what I mean?
So do you still have to follow up with a rheumatologist?
I do. So I go to
You
her
still
once
follow.
a year now. That
Okay.
barely, like I was going like constantly,
Okay.
consistently, for a while, but now I only go to her like once a year. And
So there were no other treatments other than the sunscreen, the minoxidil, or you didn't have to have any type of other treatments or medications for you.
So we tried the shots in the early years.
Okay.
We tried the
Okay.
shots, and it didn't bring it back like it was supposed
Okay.
to.
Okay.
And then when I moved up here, which we've been up here 7 years, and I've been going to this dermatologist for about 2 or 3, and I let him try because he was like, I'm telling you, it's not going to
Yeah.
work, And I'm like, it's gone, it's permanently gone, and I'm fine with that. I said, as long as I have my extensions, my braids, and
Yes.
I'm fine. I can even wear my hair out if I wanted to. I can wear it up in a ponytail if I wanted to. I said, I just love what I get when I can pop it off my head and put it back, take it off, put it back, take it off, put it back.
Yeah. So how did that impact like your image? Because me, it was a big blow because, like I said, I had thick, long hair.
Yes.
And then I was able to hide it. I was able to hide it for probably about 3 years. I would just do an updo.
You could do an updo. Yeah.
Yeah. Then I couldn't hide it anymore.
Yep.
Yes.
It's crazy because the story of my life. So I always tell people when I do my book, and I keep saying I'm gonna do a series, and everybody's like, "When is coming?" And I'm gonna name this book, and there's many, many, many reasons, and I'm not gonna go all into detail here. Maybe one day I'll give you some. But
you're gonna have to come back and tell us about your book. We need a book review.
I'm gonna have to give you. Yeah, you got to give me a good.
Yeah, we'll get you back in.
That's right. And so what happened is the title of my book will be Breast Cancer. You thought breast cancer was my story. Because that's what everybody know me as, the breast cancer survivor girl. You powered through, you did that, If they only knew what all was before that, you know what I mean? You would have no idea. But with your question, how did it impact me? I am a very humble, confident woman, So the hair thing never affected me. When I lost it 2011, when I was diagnosed with lupus, when I went bald, it didn't affect me. And even now, like I would wear the braids. Once it got to the point where I knew probably within the last 15 years that it wasn't coming back. Once I got to that point, I would just, wear my regular hair because they were so small, it was fine. Now they're like, well, only one is like a quarter, probably about a quarter size. The other one's very tiny. We was able to stop that one with the minoxidil, so that worked. So I could still wear braids and everything, And then last year, like around August, we was going on a family cruise, and I said, I think I want to switch to wigs. I was like, I don't know, I just want to switch to wigs. So I never did it. So I'm like, I've done weave, I did braids, and my own hair. Let's try wigs. I'm like, and the way I like to be Joyance all the time, like, I want my hair down, flowing.
Joyance is accurate,
girl. You know what I mean? So that is my alter ego. So the wigs work, and you can change up your personality. You can be bubbly, you can be sassy, you can be sexy, you can be fab, you can be flashy. You know what I mean? So the hair never actually affected me.